This is a Headgum original.
Nice, come on.
Running a podcast company takes everything you've got. Having to deal with Jeff and Riley sure sounds like a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go out for lunch to eat Japanese and order onigiris. You wanna go where others don't, where prices are quite insane. You wanna go where the food is at best just plain. You wanna go where rice is light and meals inhumane. You wanna go where it costs too much for that brain.
Very good. Cheers theme.
Yeah.
I respect it.
And cheers to Omsby, which
And
was
cheers to Omsby. Is this not an old theme song? Have we not played this?
according to Lorne Mintz, we haven't. He resent it, but
I see.
yeah, it's actually the same guy that sent in a terrible Blink-182 cover and a pretty good Louis Armstrong one.
Is that's what he says?
Yeah, well, that's what we called it. We probably called it the opposite: a great Blink-182 cover and a pretty good Louis Armstrong one.
Yeah, we're never rude.
This time, I wanted to do something no one has done yet for the pod, which is to parody a theme song for a TV show. That's not true. I chose to parody Cheers and provide a theme song called Omsby. I hope you guys like the song. Nothing to plug, but I did have a question for both of you.
Oh.
After 560 episodes of If I Were You, you had almost every College Humor alum on the show at one point. But is there a reason Jeff Rubin has never appeared as a guest?
Jeff has a podcast too. He should.
I thought he did once in the middle of the pandemic. I remember calling him.
He did. It was like me, you, Jeff, and Pat. But it was definitely one of those non-traditional If I Were Yous.
Yeah, it was so early in the pandemic, we thought we had to record a phone conversation. I should listen to back on those. It's just like a time capsule. Remember the first episode after the pandemic? We called Ben and Jeff and Marty and asked them how long they thought the pandemic would last. And
we should re-listen to that because I don't think it would have aged well. I remember thinking that it was going to be a month. I remember being
yeah, we'll be back in an office in 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, I vaguely remember my brother being like, people are saying it's going to last through the summer. And I was like, the summer? No way. Till June? No, I don't think so. That would be the worst fucking thing in the world.
So I think we have had Jeff on, but maybe we can have him in a more official capacity.
Yeah, definitely in a traditional sense. That'd be nice.
I actually don't know if Omsby, our old, or at least my old favorite lunch spot, survived.
I think it did not. Didn't it close? I thought it closed pre-pandemic.
Yeah, that's a funny thing to imagine. A restaurant failed anyway, but then if somebody asks, yeah, the pandemic just wiped us out. I thought you closed in December. Yeah, but the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
The data was coming out of Wuhan and it didn't look good, so we shuttered the restaurant.
It's a good excuse. Something that's kind of similar is I remember people trying to get jobs in 2015 or something, and now I don't remember the years, but it was they're the recession and the job market. And I was like, I think that has passed as a reason that you can't get a job.
Yeah, it's fun to blame the pandemic, and oftentimes it's true, so nobody really calls you out on it.
Yeah, things are bad generally, so even if it's not bad for you specifically because of that, it's created conditions that aren't good.
All right, so thank you again to, who was that? Lorne Mintz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lorne,
good stuff.
You don't really meet a lot of Lornes. It's just Michaels and this guy, I guess.
Right.
All right, we asked for lightning round, quick hits, fast questions, trying to answer as many questions as possible. Sometimes we take our sweet ass time with it, and sometimes we rush through it all. So let's have a rush through it all episode.
Oh, that's fun. We'll get a lot. Let's get a lot done.
Yeah. High quantity, low quality. This is If I Were You, the only advice pod on the web hosted by us.
Indeed.
Some of these are actual advice questions, so we can try to answer those as well. For example,
That's good stuff.
Buddy Love asks, how do you tell a nice person that they talk too much without being overly rude?
Without being overly rude.
Yeah, you can be rude. Just don't be overly rude.
I think you just take the blame on yourself. You say like, "Sorry, I'm really tired. Like, let's
both of
calm
us
down.
shut the fuck up. I feel like we're both talking a mile a minute.
Can we?" Yeah, I mean, I'd have to know exactly what they were saying and what they were doing, but I think you say something to the effect of like, let's change the subject, or let's slow down, or can we talk about something that's less stressful? I've had a long day, something like that. You just politely ask to move the topic, and say that you're tired, and then they might not venture into the new topic because you've kind of told them the truth that you don't feel like talking about something.
It's talking is hard, but listening can be harder because if somebody is talking at you, then you have to like occasionally, your brain has to be on and listening and chiming in when necessary.
Yeah. You could always fake an email or a phone call. Just, sorry, I have to deal with this, and then make it seem like you're taking something really seriously. So it's not like that easy for them to just jump back in and be like, so anyway, I was saying,
Then they require you to talk. You can also take a phone call and sort of tell them everything that you should be telling them. So it's like, sorry, I have to take this. Hello? Shut up. Shut up. You talk too much. You really do talk too much. Leave me alone.
That's
sorry.
perfect.
This
You
guy
get it all
named
out.
Davis talks my ass off every time he calls me, and it's the worst
I
thing
can't stand when
ever.
people talk incessantly without a point. That's all. Anyway, you were saying.
Get a call. I see you didn't get a call.
You told me to shut up. Low key.
Taking out a pocket knife. Do you have
a problem with me?
Yes. We're back.
That's right.
Speaking of back, Aaron Dick Reed asks, unfortunate last name, when is Jugo coming back, a.k.a. Yugo? Is that like a thing that you guys have to decide together, or can you sort of force it through?
I can unilaterally decide. I could actually just show up at Murph and Emily's with you in tow.
with you in go. Nice. Having had me in the car.
And they would have to abide by that because I brought Yugo, and you can't insult Yugo on the day.
All right, cool. So that should be soon. Although I usually come in around the holidays, so that's got to be coming up too.
That actually is true. When we record, I guess in November or December, you should come through.
Ali Hagani, aka I Alligator, asks, "What are your favorite cars? Also, why is the Headgum license plate in the LA studio and not on my Mazda? He knows I have a Mazda.
That's
zoom,
cool.
zoom.
Wait, you don't have the Headgum license plate anymore?
I do. I think I had to get a new license plate because I got a new Mazda. So I put the old one as decoration, and then the new one is on my car.
That's cool. That's cool. I actually just got a new car. It hasn't arrived yet, but
would you say it's your favorite car?
I got a lease. No, I would actually not say it's my favorite car. I'm a little disappointed that I got it, but it was the right thing to do. So I went for it. I got a RAV4 hybrid. Yeah, very practical. Smaller SUV. Got rid of the car that I do love, the Toyota 4Runner.
That's your favorite car?
I mean, my favorite car is probably the one I had before, 2000 Toyota Tacoma.
So you're a Toyota man through and through.
I do love Toyota, and I loved that Tacoma. Many good memories in that car, and just felt happy every time I drive it. I'm not one for like technical specs, like horsepower, that kind of thing. I just like to feel happy every time I'm in my car.
Yeah, what makes you feel happy about the truck? Is it just nostalgia? Like, would any car have given you that, or?
I guess maybe it would have to be, for the nostalgia, it would have to be a pre-2000 car. And I like the boxy elements. I like the analog features. That's just like
a key going into a thing.
Yeah, it's power windows, but really nothing else. Everything else has like freaking buttons. There's no motors everywhere.
That's why you
There's
didn't
no
like
touch
renting.
screen.
You didn't like renting the Tesla because everything was too smart.
I despise the Tesla. Yeah.
I,
What's a good car to you? A Mazda?
I was gonna say a Tesla, but
Oh,
because
we're allowed
despise it,
to. We can have different opinions. It's fine.
I'll
It makes
say
for-
a Ford.
I don't like Fords.
F-150.
No, I don't like a Ford truck.
Dodge Durango.
Not really, but it's fine. That's okay. I want you to
PT
really.
Cruiser, painted green, and the license plate says "Why so SRS."
I feel like you trying to come up with a car that I like. You're not even saying cars that you
An
necessarily
'88 Chrysler LeBaron.
That's perfect.
Really?
That's actually sick. Convertible? Yeah. In the cobalt blue, you better believe that.
Convertible,
No
but by
cap.
accident. What about your first car? Do you remember the one you got at age 16? Was it a hand-me-down or was it a real?
It was purchased used for me and my sister. I think she was like 19 and I had turned 16 and we both wanted a car and we got a 1992 Toyota Camry.
Oh, wow. Very similar. I got my older brother's hand-me-down, which was a 94 Honda Accord 2-door.
Oh, very nice. 2-door. The first night that I had my new used car, I felt like it smelled a little bad. So I rolled down all of the windows and opened the sunroof, and it was a torrential downpour that night. I woke up and my car was beyond soaked. The cup holders were overflowing with water.
Yeah.
It never ever smelled right again. It was
Which is why 16-year-olds shouldn't be allowed to have anything important.
yeah. I didn't look at the weather. I would just. It was like, this car smells bad. Open up everything. Go to bed. Wake up afternoon. Oh shit!
Is there even like a drainage system from inside of a car, or would it just fill up to the brim?
I think it would just fill up to the. I mean, it was cloth interior, so it just soaked deep into the seats.
To the point where it could never dry ever.
It never, ever, ever smelled right. It always smelled like moldy cardboard for the rest of its life.
And that's what you've been chasing ever since.
That's right.
Do you have any ones? Are you on that Twitter thread?
Yeah. Is Jake Hurwitz aware that the Colorado Avalanche reunited Blink-182? I was not aware. And is that true?
The Colorado Avalanche? Well,
Yeah.
we should say that Blink is back on the road, or they have a reunion tour coming up.
I saw, and I don't think anyone has ever sent me that link came in through my texts, my DMs, the Headgum Slack. People know that I'm a Blink fan, and they wanted me to know. They wanted me to see
Gabrus
it.
was in the announcement video. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
that was incredible. It was so cool.
So what's the closest Blink show? Did you look at the schedule? Are the tickets released?
It looks. I mean, they're coming to Brooklyn, I think, or New York in May. The schedule
May.
is, it doesn't say where they're performing, but I would guess like MSG.
Yeah, is it, or is it like you look and it's like actually just a 3,000 person venue, but just
No,
like you're the
no.
target audience?
Their reunion tour is going to be huge. They were playing arenas, not arenas. They were playing stadiums though.
Aren't stadiums bigger than stadiums? Are like 100,000. Arenas are like 20,000.
Oh, okay. So maybe arenas. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, they weren't like selling out a football stadium.
No. They weren't selling out a football stadium, but they were selling out the whatever it is in Hartford. That's where I saw them.
Who do you think's going to open for them?
I thought it said. I thought like Rise Against or something like that. I don't
What is
know.
that? Is that like a new band or like a band that would have opened for them in 2002?
I think a band that would have opened for them in 2002. I'm also not 100% sure it is Rise Against, but it seemed like just other punk bands.
So everyone there will be 35 to 45, right? There's no 15-year-olds at a Blink show currently.
unless a 40-year-old has a 15-year-old kid,
Yeah.
and brings them to the show.
And then do you think, was it a thing just at Blink concerts or just concerts in general that like girls would flash them and they would like do stuff with that?
I think that was a thing in general, but
Not just a
Blink
Blink show.
definitely made a meal of it for sure.
Yeah. It was a part of their show. I remember seeing some boobs at I think it was a Blink-182 concert once.
Yeah, because if people showed their boobs, they would get like shouted out on stage.
Yeah. Take off your pants and jacket, indeed.
I really respect that they like stayed true to who they are with their announcement. They're coming. We're coming.
Yeah. They're still just super sophomoric, even though like Mark Hoppus is a 52-year-old cancer survivor or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I wonder how the Colorado Avalanche. Let's take a break. Let's look up and try to understand how that's even possible.
Yeah, how
Colorado
and why.
Avalanche, Blink-182. Thanks to sponsors, and we'll be back after these messages. Thank you to Athletic Greens for sponsoring this episode of our show.
Yeah, baby. I love Athletic Greens.
Yeah, what a perfect way to start your day with just, absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Are you kidding me?
Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, you have a banana
No.
and an Athletic Greens, and then
then it's
suddenly you're
perfect, yeah.
having both the banana, which I like, and 75 of those multivitamins that you could probably only get if you were like take 90 pills, but they put it in this powder that you put in a drink that tastes great.
Yeah. Plus the banana, you have a perfect day going.
It's lifestyle friendly, so it's keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free, and gluten free.
Oh.
Yeah, and it supports better sleep, mental clarity, alertness, basically everything that you need to help tackle the day. Life is hard enough without dealing with all those other issues.
That's true.
And it doesn't cost too much, just less than $3 a day you're investing in your health.
Incredible.
And right now, if you want to reclaim that health and arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season,
Right
you
on.
just put one scoop in a cup of water every day. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase.
Let's go.
All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/ifIwereYou.
Yep.
Again, that is athleticgreens.com/ifIwereYou to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Athletic Greens. And we're back. I told you this, but last week, one of my friends, Ofer, his father, found out.
Challenged you.
Yeah, he found out that me and our other buddy, Amir Cohen, play tennis every week. And he's like, I play tennis every day at a country club. Let's play together. I'll try to, destroy you at tennis. And I said, sure, yeah, let's rally.
Bring it on, old man.
Yeah, I only play with Amir Cohen, so it's like we're not necessarily
Cohen's
getting
never
better.
beat you, right? He has never.
Cohen
ever-
has yet to beat me in a set, but we're roughly comparable. Like we're not hitting some really hard shots. We're like
Right.
a lot of slow, conservative trying to.
What's the
hit
closest
ball
that he has
back in.
come?
He's tied. Like we've got to like 5-5 and run out of time, or 6-6, and like we had to leave because somebody else was kicking us off the court.
And it's been 2 years. How insanely frustrating for him.
Yeah, now it's sort of a running joke where it's like he's not so close that it's frustrating. It's kind of like, this is ridiculous. How do I never, like, it's not like I'm a lot better than him, so it would make sense. It's not like if I was playing a professional and I would never win. If you were to see us play, you would have been like, okay, half the time, maybe 60 to 70% of the time I would win, and then he'd win the other. But no, zero
Right.
for whatever.
Interesting.
So Ofer's dad, who plays tennis every day, is like, let's play. Let's, you think, you're so good. Let's have at it. 1-on-1, mano y mano, winner take all. I said, sure. I wasn't really competitive or combative. I wasn't saying that I was going to kick his ass because I'm like, I'm a lot younger than him, but at the same time, he
Yeah.
plays tennis every day. So like maybe his
In your
form is
head,
better and I can run a lot faster or whatever.
Yeah. So are you thinking like, oh man, I hope I don't embarrass him by like actually being good? Or were you like, I wonder if he'll beat me? Or
Well, my
are
other
we
friend,
even matched?
My other friend Jesse said that I was going to beat him because he's 25 years older than me. He's like, just make him run. You're not even 40. He's over 60. you'll be fine. I'm like, well, I hope you're right, but at the same time, I've only played Cohen once a week for 2 years. He plays every day versus a variety of people. Maybe he's taking lessons. Maybe he's learning faster, getting better than me. I'll try to make him run, but at the same time, he's also in probably pretty good shape if he's playing literally every day.
Right.
So the day comes last Thursday where I drive deep into the valley to his country club to play him at tennis. A bunch of my friends want to come and see. Ofer's children, this guy's grandkids are there. They made signs. Some of them say "Go Saba," which means "Go Grandpa."
Wow, so they are not in your camp.
No, although some of them did say "Go Saba" and Amir, which was really nice. So it's like,
That's
you know
cute.
what? They just wanted to see a good game.
Yeah.
Ofer,
Did they?
Ofer texts me that day, and he's like, "My dad has already played this morning." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Is that a good sign for me? Because he might be tired, or is it the fact that he's playing 2-a-days now, and I haven't played in a week and a half? Is that a bad sign?" I get there at 5. He's already warmed up. He's sweating like he's been playing since 4. So like he already played in the morning and he's been playing for an hour.
Oh my God.
I only play for an hour once a week. So like I clearly am not in better shape than him. And he's warming up against a guy who's awesome. He's like, the other guy's just crushing the ball, topspin forehands down the line right to Ofer's dad. They're training and practicing. I just arrived like, pretty cold.
Training just for you. That's got to feel pretty cool.
Yeah, or at least like, I want to show this 39-year-old who's boss. So I'm like, yeah, let's hit a round. As soon as we start hitting around, I realized like, Rami, that's
You're
his
in
name,
trouble.
Ofer's dad. Yeah, he's better than me at tennis. It's not even like, it's not particularly close. He's very good control, a lot of pace, a lot of topspin on his shots. Like he can like run me around fairly easily. So we start the set. He wants to play best of 3 sets, which I've never done. I usually just play 1 set. He's like, no, you got to win 2. I'm like, all right, great.
Yeah.
He starts serving. His serves are fast and like slicing. So like I'm never trained against somebody like that. Like going to
so he's just
serve
like,
particularly
is he acing
slow.
you left and right?
Not acing me, but not.
You just can't return it.
I can return it, but my returns are always just like getting a racket on it, and it's a lob back to him. I'm not returning it with power or anything like that.
Yeah.
I can get a racket on it, but the lobs that go back to him, he's like putting them away fairly easily. Like I have no answer to that. I'm like,
your
I can't
rallies
do
are
anything.
like him to you, you to him. He puts it away.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it's my turn to serve. If my first serve doesn't go in, my second serve is very slow. Also, he just puts it away. At this point, I'm like, I'm sorry to everybody who came out to see this. This is not an equal match. He's gonna beat me by a lot. Like this isn't about me digging deep. I'm not better than him. I'm not as good as he is.
Did you address the crowd?
No, I mean everyone was very funny and laughing and supportive. But he was just like, he was a lot better at tennis than me.
Yeah.
Quasi toying with me. The first set ended probably in 8 minutes. He won 6-1.
8 minutes?
Very easily. He beat me 6-1. I'm like, okay.
How
Let's
did you
play
get a
another
game off
set.
him?
I think maybe like when I was serving, few of my first serves went in, or maybe he made a mistake when he was like returning it and like hitting it wide or slightly long. Very fortunate. More friends show up. How's it going? What's going on? I'm like, poorly or great for him. He is a lot better at tennis than I am. It was 6-1 in the first set. Second set, I was sprinting towards his balls. Like instead of like letting the shots just sail by me, I was like actually running for them.
Using your youth.
Using my youth, trying to make him run as well. Maybe he also just got bored. It was 3-3. I'm like, holy shit. I'm so gassed, but it's 3-3. If I win this second set, like I don't think I have anything left in the tank for set 3, if it happens to go that way. Fortunately for both of us, he then ended up beating me 6-3. So the final score was 6-1, 6-3. But he didn't really have to try very hard. He was just a better tennis player than me, and he had already played earlier that day and was training before I got there. So like, as winded as I was, he was in better shape than me as well.
Was he like, let's play again? Or was he like, okay, we got that out of our system. I'll never see you again.
Yeah, it was more like, well, the vibe was that it wasn't an equal match. It's not like, wow, that could have been anybody's game. Let's try it again. It's just like, you should learn how to hit it like this before we play again. Or like, you should try, you can't like always spin it back to me because like, it's really easy for me to return. I'm like, yep, that's true.
Well, I blame Cohen because I feel like you should be training with a pro. You should be hitting
taking lessons. Yeah.
Many different partners.
Yeah.
You should be playing more. You should be getting more match time.
I think I haven't been taking it as seriously. Like he's been training for this moment, and I have been just sort of hitting around with a buddy.
Do you feel like you want to take it seriously now?
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to get better at tennis for sure. But when I'm playing against Cohen, there's this win streak on the line that I never want to like try to hit it harder to go for high risk.
You're not improving. You're
shots.
just trying to preserve your
streak.
streak.
Yeah. So I'm never gonna go for winners that often will miss because I don't want to lose at this
You're
point.
only ever going to be good at beating Cohen.
Correct. I've been training for one opponent and one opponent only.
And one goal to have a winning record.
Yes, against one opponent.
A random guy.
Yeah, exactly. And we're both not taking it seriously, very seriously. Like, it's not like he's taking lessons as well. So I will only get as good as he gets by playing against me.
He should take lessons because that'd be really fun if just one day he showed up and blanked you.
Mm-hmm. And that would be the only way I would get better is if like he starts hitting the shots that Ofer's dad was hitting against me, so I can practice and try to train against that style of opponent.
Well, we should play. We've talked about it before. You and I should play.
Yeah, you're coming this weekend. Maybe we can play.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're more of a me or more of an Ofer's dad.
Oh, definitely more of a you. I think I would almost certainly be worse than you.
But what about your peak powers?
If I mean, now I hadn't played like 10 years, and I haven't played in a year since I started playing like last summer. So I wouldn't say, I don't think my powers even have a peak. If my serve is going in, I think I could win a few games.
But like when you were playing in college fairly regularly.
Oh, then I think I was decent. I wasn't good. I couldn't win against any college players, but I could win against any of my friends that wanted to play tennis.
Oh shit. Okay. Cause I sort of said that when I was walking off the court, I said, I have a friend that could kick your ass, old man. God. And he's like, who? Bring him. I'm like, who do you think it is? It's fucking Jake, and he played in college. So name a time and a place. And he did. Right. And I sort of set you up. I put you on a pedestal.
To fail.
Yeah. Okay. And now I'm worried that.
Go Saba, go Jake.
Yeah. I'm kind of frightened that he's going to sort of kick my ass again by proxy.
You're going to make me look bad, Hurwitz.
It was very humbling to lose that badly. Really to anybody, but to somebody who was 25 years older than me.
Yeah, that's an interesting feeling.
I felt helpless too. Yeah. It's not like I was nerve-wrackingly close. It was just when it's one-on-one like that and someone is just more skilled, it's like, I don't have it in me to beat you.
Whenever I go home and I play soccer with my dad in his like pickup soccer league, there's some guys that are my age, some guys that are younger, but then there's like guys that are in their 60s, 70s, and I think that I'll be able to like get around them or stop them if they're coming toward me, but they just have more ball control and they know how to play soccer.
And they're cheating.
Yeah. All I have is my speed and dedication and my desire to not look a fool. But
that's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Unfortunately.
So like a 70-year-old can just kind of deke me out because I fall for like the oldest trick in the book because I've never played soccer.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a web series in which we challenge older athletes at different sports and just get our asses handed to us.
See, that is pretty fun. I wonder if there's any sport that we could beat a 75-year-old professional in.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I was thinking of pickleball, but I've never played pickleball, and I've seen a lot of older gentlemen sort of dominate at that.
I've been watching pickleball take a hold in my neighborhood. Like near my climbing gym, there's a big open lot, and I rode my bike to the gym one day. I saw one pickleball net up. Rode it the next week. There was two. I went there last night, and there was just like 8 different pickleball courts that were all set up with people like with temporary nets, people that brought their own nets, their own rackets, drew their own courts. It's a phenomenon, man.
It's spreading. And you know
is.
You know who hates pickleball?
Oprah's dad.
Oprah's dad, that's right. Older tennis players think that it's like this new fad and it's like taking courts away from their hobby.
Yep. That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
Maybe I'll get better at that and challenge him at pickleball or something. Although that's more like ping pong, I think.
Right.
Okay, here's an athletic question. Best surfing tip for a beginner, ? Says See Ya Red.
Damn, I haven't been surfing in, I think, a month and a half now, maybe even 2 months. So my advice is to go. You have to go because otherwise you won't get better. And
That's the hardest part about surfing is getting to the beach, it seems.
Yeah. And well, the conditions also have to be right. There have been a couple of days where I was like, I'm free, I'm going to go surfing. And then I look at the wave report and the waves are too big. Like I'll go if the waves are 1 to 2 feet. I'll go when they're small.
Oh, wow.
But if
I don't give a shit. As long as it's 24-inch waves or less, I'm fucking there.
True. If they're 6 foot waves, I'll get my ass kicked. There's no point in me going. I don't have a board for those waves. So if you're beginning, I think one, maybe like rent a board your first few times so you don't end up buying like a 9-foot board that you don't want and then need to sell it. Get a foam top because that helps you catch waves and work on your form a little bit more. And yeah, that's all the gear is expensive. So rent your first few times. And then if you like it, then check out Facebook Marketplace. That's where I bought my surfboard.
Here's another athletic related question. This one is about basketball. It says, what is the peak moment of your basketball playing career? I guess, do you have a peak moment in your basketball career or maybe in any athletic career, like a moment or a thing that you did that was the most impressive athletic feat?
Wow. I think, yeah, definitely. I think so. Do you have a basketball one? I'm going to try to think of my crowning athletic achievement.
I remember in high school once I threw a volleyball across a basketball court, one-handed, and it went in. So that was pretty cool. It's like one singular thing, like a 90-foot heave that went into a basketball hoop.
That's pretty solid.
And then like a few months ago, I made 7 threes during a pickup session.
Wow.
It was not one game, but like over the course of 3 games, I made 7 threes. So that was my most recent achievement. So those 2 things, between making 7 threes and then also throwing a volleyball in from 90 feet.
That's pretty sick. Okay, so I'll go with an old one and a new one. I believe I won the 12 and unders doubles championship.
Wow.
At my pool club. Yeah. Me and Scott Fitzsimons won. And it was, nobody expected me to win. I don't think I was an underdog. Scott was good.
He was really good, yeah.
Yeah, really good. Actually, I twisted my ankle in
He said, just take a seat on the doubles alley and I'll sort of play Canadian style 1-on-2. And he destroyed the next best 11-year-olds.
And then the other one is maybe just this past week when I rode my bike 100 miles from Brooklyn to New Haven.
Wow, how long did that take?
11 hours.
Jesus, 11 hours of riding straight.
No, it was 11 hours. We left at like 7:30 and we got to my parents' house around like 6 something.
Oh my God.
And then, but like just pure riding time, I think like 8.5 hours.
And did you feel like I could just keep going like I was walking, or like by the end you're like, this is like the end of a marathon and I'm dead?
It came in waves. Like after, I think when we got out of like the Bronx, or when we were in the Bronx, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like, the riding wasn't that challenging. Like it wasn't like hard on my legs, but it was just like, you had to be constantly aware of all of this crazy shit that was happening in New York City. And I was like, if it's, 80 more miles of this, it's really going to suck.
Yeah.
And then once we got out of the city, it was really beautiful. We stopped for lunch around.
Didn't hurt your ass? My ass always gets bruised whenever I'm sitting on one of those seats.
Yeah. We have to get the padded suit. That's
even with
what I
that for
wear.
8 hours, you don't feel it?
You feel stuff everywhere. I didn't feel my ass felt fine. I've been riding a lot, so it doesn't like the ass don't chafe, it don't bruise.
Yeah.
But like from hunching over the bar.
Yeah,
sometimes
neck.
I feel like a pinch in my neck. From the motion on my legs, I feel something in my hip flexor sometimes.
Yeah.
My quads. I mean, when you ride for that long, everything starts to hurt. And then like after lunch, I think it was like 60 miles, and that was the hard. Like we finished lunch, we're like, okay, we're like a little more than halfway, and then we had to like, the first thing we did was ride up a hill, and I was like, I was so gassed. I was like, I don't, like, I'm really gonna limp home. And then it just kind of came in waves. By the time we actually like got to my parents' house, I felt good, and I could have rode for like 10 more miles probably.
Oh, wow.
But
And the next day?
it was just the right wave. The next day, I felt kind of like, physically I felt fine. I felt emotionally drained. I felt very hollow. I felt like a shell of a man, especially that night.
Wow.
And then the next day I was like, I just still felt like I had like a little bit of brain fog.
Interesting. I wonder if like the runner's high like depleted your serotonin, like you had taken MDMA all day, and you felt like
That
you
kinda
were
feels possible.
saddened the next day.
That does feel possible. It was, yeah. It was a big high. We like pulled in. My dad made cheeseburgers. We cracked some sea hags. It was like very celebratory, and it felt really good. We're all super amped. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe the next day I was just depleted.
The next day you were like at the end of Hurt Locker, just found yourself in a grocery store, looking
Yeah.
at fucking a box of Frosted Flakes, wondering if this is your life now.
Ringing in my ear.
PTSD from not riding a bike. Wait,
Fucking
did you ever
almost
do
getting
that?
hit by a car in Bridgeport?
Didn't you have to do a triathlon recently?
Oh, wait, did I not talk about this on the
No.
show? They canceled the triathlon the day of the race, or the day before the race. I was packing up. We had all of our stuff by the stairs, and I was worried that we were going to be late because I saw there was a ton of traffic. And I was like trying to call the race directors to see if I could pick up my packet after 6:30 if I didn't get there in time. And Jill went on their Instagram, and they had just posted. So they canceled. They didn't fully cancel the triathlon. They canceled the swim, making it a duathlon, and it was just so bizarre. They didn't email anybody. They didn't do anything except post on Instagram, and it's basically not it's no longer a triathlon. It went from being a half-mile swim, 12-mile bike ride, 3-mile run, which is the sprint triathlon, to just a 12-mile bike ride and a 3-mile run. And I was like,
I'll just
why
do
would
that
I
at home.
Yeah, why would I drive 3 hours, stay in a hotel, wake up at 5 to go on like that bike ride is like my commute. And it was
Why
so
did
much
they
about
cancel
the
the
swim.
swim?
There was an algae bloom in the lake, and it was unsafe to swim. And the fucked up thing was they had been dealing with it in their post. They've been like, we've been dealing with this since July. And I was like, well, so why didn't you say anything to anyone about it until today?
An algae bloom?
An algae
What does that
bloom.
mean? There's like slime in the lake and it would envelop
Yeah, it was like
you?
it was like unsafe to swim in because it was toxic algae.
That's actually not a terrible nickname for me.
Algae bloom. That's
Yeah.
true. Algae. It's your initials stay the same too.
Yeah. Call me algae. Algae bloom.
I like that.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, pretty insane, right?
But at least you saw the Instagram post. It would have been worse if you drove for 3 hours and they said, you can't go in the lake.
We were so fucking close to doing that. We were so fucking close. So the next day, me and my sister and Jill, we were all going to do the triathlon together, we just went on like a 30-mile bike ride, which was a casual day trip for us, and 3 times as long as the bike ride for the triathlon that they were trying to make me pay for. So yeah, it was crazy.
All right, let's take another break. More ads, more questions and answers after these messages. And we're back.
Okay.
Braden Magician asks, have y'all ever been to the Magic Castle?
Ooh, I have not. I
Really?
feel like we had a connection there, and I almost went, but Magic doesn't do it for me.
Wow. Yeah, there's this house castle mansion restaurant thing here in LA called the Magic Castle, where there's like a dinner and then you walk around and people are doing magic, and then there's like rooms where people are doing like more stagey show magics in this giant castle of a house in kind of near Hollywood.
That's right.
So I had my 6th grade birthday party there because my brother's friend was a magician.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here, huh?
No, Ben's friend was like one of the best magicians in the world at a certain point.
What?
His name was Thomas. Yeah, and he got us into
Is
the
he
Magic
still
Castle.
magicianing?
I don't think so. I think he sort of like burnt out from it and like moved somewhere far, far away. But
Interesting.
yeah, he got us because you have to be invited by a magician. It's all like very like country club chic, and like you have to eat.
You have to wear a suit, right? You have to
you have
dress up.
You have to dress up and eat at their restaurant, which is bad, and they make you pay for it before you get to see the magic. So it's like this weird, like money laundering thing. Where they're like, you have to eat at our bad restaurant, and then you can watch the magic shows because they know nobody would eat at the restaurant either way. But
I think it part of that is like that used to kind of be appealing. I think is a funny like date spot, you know, just like
if you can get a
okay,
reservation, right?
Right. First of all, you look cool. I can get us in there. It'll be funny. We'll look good.
Yeah.
We'll eat some bad food and see magic. But for me, that's like too many hills to climb to do something that I like barely like magic if it's like forced upon me. I wouldn't really seek it out.
And then I think somebody like DM'd me once, and I like actually did go there on a first date once. I don't know if you remember that, but it was kind of a funny first date location because you have to eat dinner with this person, and then you have to like watch magic. And the magic itself is pretty good because it's
Didn't that magician end up fucking your date?
Yes, and that
was so funny.
That's a good Lonely and Horny episode. Me taking a date to the Magic Castle. They saw me in half and leave me on the stage.
I thought of another really dark, lonely and horny premise, or a Jake and Amir one, where you get a new bike and you walk in and it's one of those like ghost bicycles that when it's like painted all white, that means a cyclist was killed somewhere.
So a guy stole one of those on Craigslist and is charging me $800 to drive it, and then I finally get it, and everyone hates me for it.
Yeah,
there's flowers all over the bike.
God, it's so fucked up.
The hell is your problem? What? I paid top dollar for this.
It's a Cannondale. Yeah, there's some freaking spray paint in the gears, but it's still a good bike.
Yeah, so I've been to the Magic Castle. It's kind of fun.
And me, I think it's a tragic hassle.
Nice.
Thank you.
Jake asks the Burning Nerd podcast, have you been liking the Lord of the Rings show?
Ooh, I watched the first 3 episodes of it, and I think it's cool. It looks good. It's got some of my favorite characters in it. The unfortunate thing is I'm watching it at the same time as I'm watching Game of Thrones.
It's kind of weird that these two kind of similar things are happening at the same time.
Yeah, but there's something like when I'm watching Lord of the Rings right now, it feels like I'm watching Harry Potter. It just feels very like childish.
PG-13.
Like, yeah, the dwarves are singing songs and like the comedy is so like hokey. At the same time, I'm watching like, you know, really fucked up shit on the HBO, and it just feels like I don't think that Game of Thrones is necessarily better, but I think that it just makes me feel less like a child. If I had a 9-year-old, I'd be loving Lord of the Rings.
Right. It's more like PG-13 versus the
Yeah, because I feel like it's tonally it's really similar to the movies, which I think is good, and which is what I would hate if Lord of the Rings was trying to do Game of Thrones. But the other movies have like the nostalgia factor for me, and the new show doesn't have that going for it, so it's hard for me to get into that.
Are you liking the new Game of Thrones as much as you did Game of Thrones?
Not as much as I like Game of Thrones, but I am liking it a lot. The first episode I was like, oh, they're just trying to like regurgitate Game of Thrones, and I don't care about anything, but they're like making it graphic as hell just on purpose to try to get a reaction from me. And I sort of rejected it. But then episode 2 was better. Episode 3 was better than that. And now I'm kind of back into it.
I was told that the episodes are too dark. Have you noticed that? It's kind of hard to see everything that's going on.
Yeah, I have noticed that. But I adjusted the picture settings on my TV, and it looks a little washed out, but it definitely looks better. It's pretty annoying. They did it at the end of season 8 too, and like HBO didn't they responded to somebody and they were like, this was an artistic decision. And it's like, why was someone allowed to make that decision?
Make it so dark I can't see anything.
It's bizarre.
Miriam Gurgis asks, what's the best sandwich in LA?
It's got to be Wax Paper, right?
It's a good sandwich.
The Terry Gross at Wax Paper, I think, is my favorite sandwich in LA.
Although, didn't we like get a different sandwichery?
You guys might have. I always try to get Wax Paper. I think Wax Paper is the best sandwich in LA. It's tough to get a good sandwich out there. There's not very many.
What's your favorite sandwich in New York?
It depends where I am, really. But I think Anthony and Sons in Williamsburg.
Oh, wow. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, you haven't.
Here's another sporty one. If each of you can pick one sport to be world class in, what sport would it be? Bonus question. If you would then choose an abnormal or strange feature or handicap for each other within that sport, what would it be? So you choose to be world class, and then I say, actually, I'm going to give you a boil so you can't really excel.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I think it would be football, international football, not American football. I'd be a footballer, and you could give me a boil right on my forehead, so I wouldn't be able to head the ball without pus oozing out.
Oh, it's off the boil / crossbar.
Yeah.
Another epic strike for Boyle Hurwitz.
A worldie from the Boyle man.
I don't want to play anymore if you're going to call me that.
It's a hat trick, but he can't wear the hat because it will irritate his boil.
Because the pus will trickle down his face, that is. But another excellent strike from the unicorn / boiled man. And for me, I would choose to be so good at tennis that I would cram a serve down Ofer's dad's chest so fast that he wouldn't even be able to return it.
And I would make you 75, so you'd have 10 years on him. So he'd have the legs on you, yeah.
Rafael Centino asks, if you could live anywhere in South America, where would you live and why?
Anywhere in South America? Man, I guess Patagonia, because the weather is so bad.
Interesting. That's where you would live because the weather is so bad.
Yeah, well, I was just kidding about the weather being bad. It's really beautiful. I do hear that the weather's really bad.
Yeah, because it's really close to the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
Or Antarctic Circle.
Maybe Rio then.
Yeah, because it looks like a giant Brazilian fuckfest 24/7. Mm-hmm. For me, there's only one place to be, and that's Buenos Aires.
Nice.
In Catalonia, Argentina. Oh, God, my tongue is swollen.
Your tongue is swollen.
Just the thought of eating that ceviche.
Here, lick my boil.
Oh, thank God it worked. All right, a few last ones. Anything that you see?
Let's go rapid fire. Here we go. Tom Holt, how's Animal Crossing going? I don't play. I haven't played for 2 years. Tom Nook is a crook. I'm out on that game. Are you still into crypto or is it all over now? Asks Will Russian-LO.
Yeah, everything surged at the beginning of the pandemic, and now, much like every other market on Earth, with the instability of the global economy / impending nuclear holocaust /
I didn't realize
climate
Bitcoin
change.
is only at 20K. Maybe I should unload my 48 Bitcoin that I have.
48, you have over $1 million in crypto.
Yeah, I should unload that shit.
Unload it. You could purchase a small farm in Buenos Aires for that kind of money.
Chiefs or Bills this Sunday?
Give me the Bills on the road. There's a reason the Chiefs are home dogs. They didn't look great against the Las Vegas Raiders this weekend, and Josh Allen is here to prove himself that this wasn't an aberration. Give me the Bills. P.S. Go Bills.
Go Bills. This is your year.
Who would play the other better in a movie? So you play me in a movie, or I'm playing you?
Oh, wow. I think you would play me better. I don't know how to act.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But with you playing me, you would just have to get glasses or something.
Right. Actually, I could do it.
I don't know how it would be you. Mm-hmm. All right, final question. Ready?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Jay Sizzle asks, what's the best dog size?
You got to go medium. You got to go medium because it's
medium.
in between the two.
Yeah, large is... I've seen some large dogs, and that seems hard. Here we go. If you're watching
That's the best dog size right
if
there.
you're watching on our YouTube, you can see Jake is currently showing his dog that passed away, and he refuses to move him for 4 days. That's the world premiere of
dude.
Dingo.
He's zonked.
He's chilled.
Absolutely zonked.
So it's a new dog for you. How's his sleeping schedule been? Or is he waking you up early? Is he staying up late?
His sleeping schedule finally got good. Going to bed at like 11. Sometimes he needs one more pee before he goes to bed, which is like waking me up at 12:30, and then he'll sleep until 7:30.
And do you do walks, or do you let him out the back?
I always do a walk because if I let him out the back, he still will like. I think that he
Eat
could
a flower.
something. Yeah, right. So, but we go down the stairs in front of our place and he pees right away.
And then you're back up?
Yeah, right back up. He wants to come back in too. He's like, let's go outside, pee. I got to go back inside. That's where the treats are. But last night he had diarrhea every hour on the hour.
Of the mouth?
No, of the south.
Interesting. So that's
Of
sort
the
of
ass variety.
Does he let you know, or do you just wake up and you hear some sort of faucet on?
No,
and you're
he
like, "That's just-"
cries and he cries and he knows that he needs to go outside. He is potty
whimpers.
trained.
Yeah.
So yeah, he wants to go outside. I wake up, I run downstairs. Usually he walks really well, like just right at my foot.
Yeah.
But when he has the diarrhea, he like runs out ahead of me, runs to the sidewalk, shits everywhere. And then like looks confused, and then he would come back inside and just like flop down on his dog bed and be like, "Wow, that was crazy."
And it's like that, but 6 times.
Yeah, I woke up at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all throughout the night. And then Jill was like, "We should take him to the emergency room," and I was like, I don't want to go to do that right now. I don't think he's going to die.
Yeah.
The vet's going to be open at 8. Let's just do that. And yeah, he's fine.
Is it a food thing?
I think it was a reaction to one of the vaccines that he got, or also it could have been a food. They were like puppies. They just called it puppy stomach. It could have been anything. Like sometimes he eats a rock. Sometimes he like tries to eat a wood chip. Sometimes he'll like eat a piece of lettuce that's on the side of the street, and like I try to get everything out of his mouth, but he definitely ingests bad stuff every once in a while. Also, he got his vaccines, so it really could be anything. It could have been we tested his shit to see if he had a tapeworm.
But in conclusion,
a parasite.
In conclusion, medium is the best size for you.
Absolute medium, because Dingo right now he's small to medium, and the diarrhea was not overwhelming to pick up.
Yeah, I've seen some really enormous dogs with really enormous poops, like grapefruit sized shit you got to pick up.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I like the small dog that I have because he can sleep in between my legs in the bed, which
That's
you can't
nice.
really get with a big dog either.
Yeah, that is really nice.
So I guess it's a personal preference. I'm sure whatever size dog you have, you think is the best one.
Yeah.
All right. We tried to answer as many questions as possible. We did our best. Was it enough?
We did a good job.
Let us know. We will be back, of course, next week. So keep emailing us your theme songs and your questions and your debates.
Yes, please. We need those debates.
If there's a debate that's been tearing your friend group or relationship apart, email us at ifiwereyoushow@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week, and you can watch more of us on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/JA. Weekly videos where we're checking out old Jake and Amir videos and reacting to them. We just watched the Grand Canyon series. There's 2 episodes about a canyon being grand and Chia's Canyon.
Yes, exactly. Check it out.
We watched them both. and they're online. So yeah,
Great episodes.
if you're ever in the need for more, that's patreon.com/JA. One last time, that Omsby themed Cheers
Exactly.
parody by Lorne Mintz. Here we go.
Doesn't get better.
See y'all soon.
Bye.
Running a podcast company takes everything you've got. Having to deal with Jeff and Riley sure sounds like a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go out for lunch to eat Japanese and order onigiris. You wanna go where others don't, where prices are quite insane. You wanna go where the food is at best just plain. You wanna go where rice is light and meals inhumane. You wanna go where it costs too much for that grain.
That was a Headgum original.